Welcome to Apaga University. I'm Inga.
And I'm Julie. We are two
momtrepreneurs
who have built an in-home care business from the ground up, guided every step of the way by God's care and fueled by agape love.
16 years later and over 100 podcast episodes already under our belts, we invite you to continue on this journey with us as we share stories that resonate, insights that inspire, and practical guidance that empowers you to face any obstacle along this path.
Whether you're a professional caregiver, a family member, or are simply curious about what your steps will be when you need them, you have come to the right place.
Oh, hey, and while you're here, make sure you hit that subscribe button.
And after that, make sure you send this to a friend.
Yes, do it. All right, we'll quit fooling around and get to it.
Let's go. Class is in session.
Hello, Sunshines, and hello, Julie. How are you?
It's like we never do these things.
I know, it's
Everyone's
the
first time every time, and we have to piddle fart around. And
yeah, I know, it's how much time preparing at the table before we just have to go.
Yes.
And usually, yeah. Anyway, you know what I just noticed? We look very Christmassy today.
Do we?
Our colors.
Oh.
Don't we?
Yeah, I like the color you got on there.
Yeah, and I like the color you have on.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, it's not Christmas yet, but the
what
vibe.
Are they?
Yeah, it's a Christmas vibe, and the stores, they are already looking a lot like Christmas.
Oh my gosh. I actually have to go to the store and find something with a turkey on it.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking I might be past time.
Oh no. Like what kind, like an attire piece, a clothing piece that has a turkey?
Decorative.
Okay.
Yeah.
So just something that has a turkey on it.
That can withstand weather because it's got to go on my stump.
Oh, righto. For your...
Yeah, I can't find my pumpkin that says Thanksgiving and has all this cute stuff. I don't know where I put it.
Oh.
I put it where I wouldn't forget.
Yes, and you forgot.
And I forgot it.
Are you going to do straw bales? Are you going to decorate your farm art?
Yes.
For Thanksgiving?
Yeah. Yes. I'm
Yep.
Picasso.
You are too. All right. Well, let's get this show on the road. Today, our verse is Psalm 4, verse 8. It says, I will both lie down in peace and sleep, for you alone, O Lord, make me dwell in safety. Do you know that at nighttime when I go to bed, I mean, it probably could be the sleep drops and other things that help with my slumber. But truly, if my mind is like going,
yeah,
I just I have to remember, stop it. Stop. Mm-hmm. Talk to Jesus. Mm-hmm. You'll be fine. And like that. It's crazy.
Yep. It's a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It took me a lot of years to learn that too.
I know there has been times that I have literally had to get up out of bed and go and just get my notepad and just barf everything from my pen down to paper.
Yep.
Just get it out of my brain because I was just nonstop, just
Yep.
turmoil in my poor little pea brain.
Yeah. I just say like, hey, I can't process this. I need you to take it for me.
Yeah.
And then it's gone.
Mm-hmm.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Anyway, I recommend it. I highly recommend it.
Highly recommend.
Turn it over, man.
Let go.
Let somebody else do the thinking.
That's right.
All right. Well, what did you bring us for a good news story today?
So, Notre Dame.
Oh, I think I saw this.
Yes, it burnt 5 years ago. And now they are actually thinking that it will be completed like within the next couple of weeks. And it's a beautiful thing. I mean, what a tragedy when it burned like it did. And there's a documentary out there on it.
Wow.
And it talks about how they couldn't even hardly fight it.
Oh.
And then what they were trying to do to save it, because some of the steeples were so high that if they went down, it was going to crash into neighboring buildings it was just terrible. And the devastation that the people felt
I'm
for
sure.
this beautiful piece of work. I haven't seen what it looks like now, but I have just heard on the news that it's so close to reopening that they'll have their services again. So that was what mine was we need to Google and see how much, hopefully they maintained as much of the original structure as when before the fire.
Yeah. Huh. Cool. So that'll be done here soon.
Yes.
Well, I thought that I would share a daily wisdom because it's been a while since I have shared anything from my daily wisdom book. And of course, this is by Julie Fournier. So it says, when your back is against the wall, only you can help you. Every time your back is against the wall, there is only one person that can help you, and that's you. It comes from the inside. That is what Pat Riley says. When your back is against the wall, you have a choice. Keep pushing or quit. Only you can make that decision. We all face tough situations. Winners aren't necessarily the most talented, the most athletic, or the most intelligent. Oftentimes, the winners are just the most resilient. Oftentimes, what separates good players from great ones is that the great ones just don't know when to quit. When everyone else has had enough, a select few are still going. It's okay to fall, just keep getting back up. When you get hit back harder. The truth is, you will never be able to avoid adversity, but you can learn how to persevere. Everybody loses, everybody has bad games, but listen to that voice inside of you telling you to keep pushing through it.
Oh.
And they say that, don't they? Like,
so
it's just, it's not, about how hard you can get hit. It's how hard you can get hit and then get back up.
Yeah.
So you just got to keep on going.
No,
man.
even with what us, I don't even ever claim to be the brightest bulb on the tree, but we have never stopped pushing every day to make this business more and better and strive for the best. And I mean, I think we live that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's not that there aren't hard days, and it's not that there aren't days that kick our butts and knock us down, but
total kick butters. Yeah.
But you just have to get up and keep going.
I need to take a picture of that. That's a very good one. I have somebody I should send that to.
Awesome. Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I'll get it to you after the show.
Very nice.
Well, if you listeners have good news stories or you have verses or topic ideas you want to send to us, please email those. You can send it to julie@ipagahomecare.com or inga@ipagahomecare.com.
Please do.
Yes.
And otherwise, you're stuck with me coming up with all the brainiac topics that we're talking about.
You don't do too bad, Julie. You don't do too bad. So, but we do like input.
We love input.
So today we are actually going to be talking about sleep.
Yes.
The importance of it, how much you need, the different stages of sleep.
Yeah.
It's a big deal.
It really, really is. And as it pertains to our seniors, your life just changes. And we're going to talk about that. But I was just thinking about that the other day because I actually had a rough bit of this last week where I seemed to be waking up at 3 a.m. And then here I am, just my brain gets to going but I just can't get back to sleep till probably 5 to 6 when I get up at 6,
right.
know?
Just about 5-10 minutes
get
before you
right
have
back
to get
to
up.
sleep and it's like, so anyway, I was just like, you know what? I need to research. So part of the podcast you're getting is my own personal traumas that I'm trying to research and figure out my life. Oh. So you're welcome.
Well, I am all for a good sleep. Man. I'm not a napper though. I'm a terrible napper.
No,
like I always, if I can fall asleep when I wake up, I'm like mad, hot. Don't know what year it is. It's a bad deal.
How long did I sleep?
Yes.
I am more afraid that I won't be able to sleep at night
if you take a nap.
If I take a nap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have not had that problem, but I wake up crankier than ever if I take a nap. So I always wake up like I'm on fire. Why is that? I don't know. I'm not on fire, but it sure feels like it.
Good darn thing.
Yeah. Anyway, okay. So this may not come as a surprise, but the younger you are, the more sleep you need.
Right.
So babies, of course, are going to need the most amount of sleep. And then as you go through your aging process, it kind of, it goes up and down and, and then you kind of level out at the end, it seems.
Right. Right.
Yep. By adulthood, most healthy people need 7 to 8.5 hours of sleep.
Right.
Yep. So basically, those sleep needs are going to vary depending on your genetics. Most adults fall into the 7 to 9 hour range. If you think you thrive on less, you might actually want to reconsider that.
Isn't that interesting? Because I've heard a lot of people saying, I only need 3 or 4 hours of sleep, and they swear by it.
Right.
But
it is, I think it is pretty rare, but you're not very good judges. Like, I think us personally are not necessarily the best judges of how sleep loss affects us. And so most people who think that they do well on little sleep would probably function better with a little bit more. One common misconception is that older adults don't need as much sleep as they did in middle age. Older adults should still aim for at least 7 hours of sleep. And I think you were saying this, older adults have different sleep patterns. They tend to sleep more lightly and may wake earlier in the morning, but you still need the same amount of sleep over a 24-hour period. So if you're sleeping less at night, you might need to nap during the day. So that might be something that I'm just going to have to practice as I age.
We could start practicing now. After we have our lunch, which we always work through our lunches, then it's siesta time. Siesta time. Yeah.
Not a bad plan.
Righto. The benefits of sleep. Sleep is a catch-all that benefits your physical, mental, and emotional health. When you're sleeping, your body has the chance to rest and recover, and those restorative properties even occur on a cellular level. Some major benefits of sleep include boosting your immune system, strengthening your emotional process, improving your mood, and in decreasing stress, and improving memory function, improving cellular growth, repairing tissue and muscle recovery, increasing productivity, and improving exercise performance.
Yeah. So turns out that there's actually a bit of a science to developing your sleep patterns, right? So the things that they recommend that you do to get the most out of your sleep schedule: winding down. So before bedtime, you want to wind down. They do say turning off your electronic devices, aiming for an hour beforehand, turning down lights and doing like calming activities. They say taking a warm bath, reading, relaxing, things to get your body sleepy. I have found that I cannot take a bath before. That does not relax me at all. Like, I'm wide awake then. Oh, it does not help me. So, I mean, it's going to be individual for people, right? And then I, of course, am the one that's like, I don't want to turn off all of my electronics because that's what I do. I set a sleep timer on the TV and fall asleep listening to something.
Right.
But I don't struggle with sleep, right? So if I did, I guess maybe I would have to rethink things.
Yeah.
It says go slow. So if you're used to staying up until 2:00, you aren't likely to fall asleep at 11. So you need to start by shifting your bedtime back a little bit at a time, even like 15 or 20 minutes, and then, do it for a day or two, then, take another 20 minutes or whatever. So I guess don't just try to change it overnight. Be consistent. So if you cut your sleep short during the week, you won't be able to fully make up that sleep debt on the weekends. So instead, you want to aim to go to bed and wake up close to the same time every day. It is interesting because a lot of people, I think, during the week, they have their routine. You got to get up, you go to work, you need to be there by a certain time. And then you get to the weekend and you're like, oh, I'm just going to sleep in. And then they sleep the day away. And I don't necessarily know that that's the best thing for you.
You don't get anything done.
Yeah. that would be your problem.
Maybe that's the goal.
Yeah, for sure. But not on a farm, right?
Oh boy.
And then basically be flexible. You're not necessarily going to be perfectly consistent every night. So just try to be within an hour or so of your ideal sleep target as a good goal. And understand that, this might not happen for you just immediately. So don't get frustrated. Just it's crazy that it's like, keep practicing sleeping.
Yeah, that's weird. That's weird. But some people do have a really big problem with it. And I thankfully, as it sounds like you, don't have that.
Yeah.
So that's very, very good. Callie occasionally will have a bit of trouble zonking out.
Yeah.
So sleep deprivation is a big deal. Even losing out on 1 or 2 hours of sleep can impact your mood and overall health. I do know that if I know that I have an early flight or I've got something that we've got to do at the butt crack of morning, I'm just, for freaking out that I'm not going to wake up on time. So you don't sleep good.
You're wound up.
Yeah. And then it does screw with your mental. So basically sleep deprivation is struggling to stay awake when inactive, difficulty concentrating, forgetfulness, slowness in responding to others. Oh, so when that happens, I'm just going to say, don't bother me. I'm sleep deprived.
That's why you're slow today.
Yeah. So loss of motivation, increase in moodiness or temper, yawning constantly, day-long periods of drowsiness, multiple power naps. Basically, you're just tired all the time. The one thing that I think about often is like medical people, and there's police, those kinds. They actually work on a rotating days for this long, then nights this long, and then back to days. And I think that they've done studies that that's really not great for you.
I would never be able to do it.
Yeah.
I would flunk immediately.
Yeah.
I need I'm the kid that at like 7 or 8 years old fell asleep at Disney World because I was tired. It was my bedtime. So I was like, can I go to sleep now?
Oh my word.
I know.
Oh my word.
I have a good relationship with sleep.
The happiest place on earth, and you take a nap. Come on.
I know. Can you believe it?
No.
Yep. It's true.
Yeah. It's important to keep an eye on these symptoms, especially if they occur daily or weekly, as short-changing your sleep long-term can actually bring on long-term problems like diabetes, depression, heart problems, high blood pressure, lowered immunity, and obesity. Isn't that something?
Yeah. It sounds like sleep is as important as diet and exercise.
Yeah.
And everything that we read.
But the good thing is when you are sleeping, you don't eat broccoli.
Is that a good
very
thing?
important to bring up that point.
So the stages are the cycles of sleep. So an average sleep cycle lasts about 90 minutes. Ideally, you need 4 to 6 cycles of sleep every 24 hours to feel fresh and rested. Each cycle contains 4 individual stages, 3 that form non-rapid eye movement, and then 1 rapid eye movement, which is the REM sleep, right? So while the time spent in each stage varies, the longer you are asleep, you might bounce between stages each night. Each individual stage remains largely the same. So that first one, so the NREM stage 1, this stage of light sleeping lasts 5 to 10 minutes. During this stage, you are dozing off as your body and brain activity begin to slow. If you are woken during the stage, you may feel as if you haven't fallen asleep at all. Okay. So the second stage, during this stage of light sleeping, your muscles begin to relax as your body temperature drops and your heart rate and breathing slow down. During this stage, your eye movement stops and your brain waves slow. There are occasional bursts of brain waves called sleep spindles that are believed to assist with storing your memories and shutting down your senses so that your sleep won't be interrupted. This stage prepares you to enter into deep sleep and may last up to 25 minutes. The third stage is known as deep sleep, in which your eyes and muscles are fully at rest. During this stage, your body is repairing itself by regrowing tissue, strengthening your immune system, and building bones and muscle. It is increasingly difficult to wake you up during this stage, and if you are woken, you may experience a period of disorientation and brain fog for up to 30 minutes or an hour.
Oh my goodness.
That's the stage I must be in when I nap and wake up.
Right.
During the earlier sleep cycles, this stage could last 20 to 40 minutes and gets increasingly shorter as sleep cycles progress. As you get older, you spend less time in this stage and more time in the stage 2. And then you've got your REM sleep. This is the stage where you dream. Your brain activity greatly increases and can even match or exceed your usual brain activity when you are awake. Your muscles enter a state of temporary paralysis, except for your eyes, which move rapidly during this stage, and the muscles that you need to breathe. Your breathing gets faster and your heart rate and blood pressure increase. Usually the first period of REM sleep occurs around 90 minutes into your sleep cycle and lasts for about 10 minutes. Each of your later REM stages get longer the more hours you remain asleep. So that's crazy to me. So basically you go through this entire cycle multiple times, like throughout the night. Is that what I'm reading?
That
and understanding?
Interesting. I just didn't realize that your breathing gets faster, your heart rate and blood pressure increase. I mean, because to me, that's not like you're sleeping. It's like you went out for a stupid jog. And I don't do that, so it's not like I know. So do you wake up and remember your dreams?
Sometimes, yeah.
Sometimes. Yeah, me too. And then have you ever woke up in the middle of like a really scary dream?
Yes.
And then there's been times that I've literally had to say, okay, you're awake, and completely shift my thought because I had like a clown following me with a big knife or some darn thing. And it's like, I got to get that out of my head. Let's think about unicorns and rainbows right now.
Home care.
Yeah. No. So, but I've woken up before in just frantic.
Yes.
Breathing heavy and everything.
Have you had the ones where you consciously know that you're dreaming, but it's very, very scary and you can't it's like 2 realities are happening at once. I think it's like sleep paralysis or something where something super scary is happening, but like, you know, you're sleeping, but you can't get yourself to wake up out of it.
Oh, that's
Have
the
you
worst.
ever? Okay. So I get that every now and again. And I remember a time when I was living with my grandma Fisher, and I swear to God, she saved my life and she has no idea. Because I was living, so she had we called it the bunk room, and we had our little shelves that we got put away on at nighttime or whatever. Well, I was having this dream and being chased by somebody scary, and I knew that bad things were happening. And in my dream, my grandma was like waking me up, and she wasn't really waking me up, but in my dream, she was waking me up, and I finally came out of it.
Wow.
But I remembered that was the worst one I've ever had.
Ooh.
Like you know that it's not real, but then again, it seems really, really real, and you can't wake up, and yeah, it's pretty terrifying, actually.
Oh, that's
so I don't
terrible.
recommend it. Don't do that.
Don't do that. The thing that I have done as I get older is like when I go to bed and I'm cold, I just get myself so wrapped up, so nice and tight in a cocoon, but then I'll wake up and like my whole arm will be dead.
Oh yeah.
And I'll just remember trying to wake it up and move it, but it's like it's just a slab of meat and I can't. It's very difficult when you wake up in the morning and you've hurt yourself while you're sleeping.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh. And then the other thing is if you ever just maybe when you're just starting to get to sleep, you feel like you're like falling.
Yes.
And you wake up and you're just jerked your head, you whiplash.
Yeah.
Because that's a terrible sensation as well.
Oh, I know. Yeah, and I don't remember what it is that causes that, but I think I've read about it or looked it up before.
Yeah, no, there's definitely a reason that you have those certain things.
Yeah.
But we actually have a deal where with some of our clients, we get to sleep when they're sleeping. But I always tell our clients, we will not get into our REM. It's just like when you are a brand new parent and you actually have that baby. It's not like you ever sleep really good because that ear is always open for them when they're moving or they're fussing and you just immediately wake up and, so I was thinking about, we have a lot of people that really love to work the night shift. Some of them, like I said, are sleep shifts. Some are, you have to be awake all the time. And, but people that work the night shift, they do love them.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's weird because how do they like keep themselves out of the stage where you're like unconscious?
Yeah.
But I mean, I guess anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, but they do it. They
love it. And
they're always there listening and ready to jump when needed.
Ready to jump.
Yeah. Okay, well, let's see. So talking about like aging and sleep.
Yeah.
Why does aging affect sleep?
Yes.
Well, let's look here. So the circadian rhythms change as people age, often leading to disrupted sleep patterns. There is an increased prevalence of mental and physical health conditions that can increase a risk of fragmented sleep. Sleep disturbances can decrease sleep quality and quantity and become chronic sleep issues if not addressed. And improving sleep hygiene and developing healthy habits can encourage better sleep. So it's like everything in life, you have to try. Gotta work at it.
Never heard of sleep hygiene.
Yeah, I hadn't either.
Let's find out what it is.
Okay, let's. So aging is tied to numerous health concerns. Poor sleep can contribute to many of these problems, reducing quality of life in people as they get older. So in order to address the unique needs of older adults, it is more important than ever, to understand the effects of aging on sleep and overall health. We take a closer look at the relationship between aging and sleep, common sleep issues, and sleep tips for older adults. So why does aging affect sleep?
Well, it is common for older adults to experience the changes in the quality and duration of their sleep, like you were saying. Many of these changes occur due to the changes in the body's internal clock. So that's located in the hypothalamus. And that internal clock has like 20,000 cells. Who counted them?
Yeah, no kidding.
So basically what they're saying is that this area of the brain controls 24-hour daily cycles called the circadian rhythms.
Circadian rhythms, yep.
Yeah. See, I said a big word
Good
all
job.
by myself. These rhythms influence when people get hungry, which mine must be on all the darn time, when the body releases certain hormones, and when a person feels sleepy or alert. So basically, the duration of the function of this can be disrupted, influencing when people feel tired versus being alert. That area, which they're calling it the SCN, receives information from the eyes, and light is one of the most powerful cues for maintaining the rhythms. But it says that many older people have insufficient exposure that daylight exposure may be even more restricted for people who live in nursing homes.
Right.
Okay, so the amount of daylight. So if you are in a nursing home or a place that doesn't have
a lot of
that sunlight and all that can really affect that, which isn't that interesting.
Well, think about isn't it Alaska that for certain times of the year, it's 23
hours a day of darkness. Yeah.
And it really, really can have a detrimental effect.
Oh, so that's where
well-being.
It works, changes the production in hormones such as melatonin and cortisol, which may also play a role in disrupted sleep in older adults. So as people age, the body secretes less melatonin, which isn't that something that they always say, just go get some melatonin. Like my husband likes the Zzz, and they're from Vicks or NyQuil.
Right.
And if I'm getting a cold or something, I always know that I need to get a really good night's sleep. So I'll knock myself out with NyQuil. And that stuff really, really knocks me out. But it also makes me feel like crap the next morning. So,
you get a little
one of those
NyQuil
things.
hangover.
So then the melatonin, which is normally produced in response to darkness and helps promote sleep by coordinating those circadian rhythms. Who knew?
Oh, somebody knew.
Yeah.
So there are mental and physical health conditions that might interfere with your sleep. They basically conditions that commonly affect sleep in older people include depression, anxiety, heart disease, diabetes, and conditions that cause discomfort and pain, such as arthritis. So the relationship between physical health and sleep is complicated by the fact that many older adults are diagnosed with more than one health condition. Those with multiple health conditions are more likely to report getting less than 6 hours of sleep, having poor sleep quality, and experiencing symptoms of a sleep disorder, which I guess it makes sense. I mean, the more things that are going on with you, the more chance there is of your sleep being interfered with.
Right.
Sleep issues may also be related to side effects of medications. So almost 40% of adults over the age of 65 take 5 or more medications. That is insanity.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah. Many over-the-counter and prescription drugs can contribute to sleep issues. So the interactions of multiple medications may also cause unanticipated effects on sleep.
So when somebody says, I can't sleep, say, well,
what are your medications?
How many meds do you take? And are they all doing a counteraction of each other?
Yeah.
That's crazy town.
Yeah. So lifestyle and sleep, they say that poor sleep quality in older adults can be related to lifestyle changes that often come with aging. For example, retirement may lead to a less structured sleep/wake schedule. Other significant life changes, such as loss of independence and social isolation, can increase stress and anxiety, which can also contribute to sleep issues.
Right. Oh, okay. So aging affects people differently. While some older adults may have no significant disruptions to their sleep, others complain about getting less sleep and having worse sleep quality. Experts have found several common sleep disturbances in older adults. Shifting their sleep schedule. So this shift is
the circadian rhythms shift forward in time?
Yes, thank you. Many older adults experience this phase advance in getting tired earlier in the afternoon and waking up earlier in the morning. We see that all the time here. Waking up at night also shows that as people get older, they often experience changes in their sleep architecture. And so the stages of sleep get all screwed up. These shifts may contribute to older people waking up more often during the night and having more fragmented, less restful sleep.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
I know it really irritates me a lot when I wake up in the night and have to go to the bathroom, but the saving grace is that I can always fall back asleep. Well, that too.
Yeah.
Didn't pee the bed, so there was that. Not that you would ever know.
Don't tell me.
I'm not copping to that.
Don't tell me. But yes, getting up to go to the bathroom multiple times, but nothing. I had a couple of times where I fell asleep around 9:30, 10, and then I wake up and I go, oh my gosh, I feel so good. It has to be almost time to get up. And I look and it's like midnight or 1 o'clock and I've slept for 2 to 3 hours. I'm like, now, how the heck am I going to get back to sleep and get that comfortable again? Because I just felt so good. I was like, boy, that was
what a great restful night.
Restful. Yeah. So then I had to figure out what to do with myself as I'm not trying to toss and turn by waking up the dear husband.
Oh, geez.
Because that would be poking the bear.
Oof. Don't do that.
Yeah, no.
Except for I'm the bear in my situation. Everyone's afraid at my house to wake me up.
Oh, that's funny. Those circadian rhythms that they're talking about, basically it takes longer recovery from changes in your sleep schedule. Like daylight savings time. Ugh. Ticks me off.
Have you ever talked to a single person in the world that was like, this is a good idea?
Yeah. No. I actually videoed myself the other night doing chores it wasn't like 5:15. And I was in the dark, dragging hoses around, trying not to bump into black cows.
Yeah.
Because that's what we have.
Yeah.
And they're also, just they're pets. And so they don't think that they need to get out of my way as I'm stumbling through. I was just
it's not a help.
Raging.
I don't know.
Raging.
Yeah, Kevin and Bailey always say it just means that now we get to do chores in the dark twice.
Yeah.
Morning and night.
Morning and night. I thought that very thing as I was driving into town this morning. I come into town about 7 and I'm just like, well, when I leave, it will look exactly like this.
Yep.
It will be that dark again.
Yeah.
And then, of course, yesterday when I was raging the worst, it was actually raining too. So the extra dark clouds it was very dark.
I'm such a baby in the dark, even driving. Like if I got to drive home, I got to get home before it's dark because my eyes are just not great in it. And then when it's raining, like you're saying, it makes it that much more dark.
Yeah. I didn't even want to take the bypass last night because I knew it was just getting to that icky dark kind of middle of half the people don't have their stupid lights on.
Oh, that is also, I rage over that.
Yeah.
And you know who? I'm sorry, I don't mean to call anybody out, but I have to say it. I see more law enforcement vehicles without lights on when they should have their lights on, and it just makes me
really
so mad.
Oh, yeah.
So mad. What? Turn your dang lights on.
I know. How dumb.
Gosh darn it.
Rage.
Yeah. Anyway.
Rage. Daytime napping estimates that about 25% of older adults take naps compared to around 8% of younger adults. And they say that while some experts suggest that a short daytime nap may be beneficial, many agree that extended napping and napping later in the day can make it harder to fall asleep at bedtime and create nighttime sleep disruptions.
Yep, which is what you said earlier.
Well, and so there's the problem with the clientele that we have. For example, the other day I got to drop by Mother's, and Grandma is there right now during this time. And it was closer to noon, and Grandma was still in bed. Now, was she necessarily sleeping? No. We had a client the other day where the daughter-in-law was like, and she won't get out of bed now till about 1. And she was more frustrated with her, just feeling that she just was lazy, instead of just being so comfortable. And, of course, your bed never feels as good as when you just have to get out of it, right? I was like, why didn't it feel this good just half an hour ago? But anyway, then with people with the Alzheimer's and stuff, if they, do you try to keep them up during the day so that they'll sleep at night? Or do you let somebody just go and you nap when you feel like napping, you're up when you feel like napping? We very often get stuck trying to help people figure out sleep routines for their family.
Right. Well, and I think the struggle comes when you have a family that is trying to also run their life in addition to taking care of somebody. Because if I have to get up in the morning and I have my day all planned out and everything, I'm going to need to make sure that I have a good night's sleep, right? Yes. So I don't want anything disrupting that. Yes. But if you are more flexible, then maybe it's not as big of a deal to get on somebody else's sleep schedule.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's rough all over, man.
Yeah. And then, of course, in comes the sundowners.
Yes.
And all of the things, and somebody having to toilet themselves every couple of hours or position somebody.
Yeah.
I mean, it's easy to have your sleep disrupted at any given time. So sleep while you can, children.
Man. I really, I can understand how sleep deprivation is like a torture, a form of torture, because I just get sick, physically ill if I get.
Let's think about our lifestyles and choices, because very soonish, you, Kevin, is going to be I don't know how he does it when he's lambing.
I don't know
either.
either.
When we're calving, we get up every couple hours and go out and check cows. And there's just that window of 2 months or whatever your birthing cycle is for your animals. You have to be there.
Yeah. And you just know that you're not going to get the good sleep. I don't know how Kevin does it. I really don't. Yeah. He's amazing. And Bailey too, because she's on that same cycle with him. When they're having babies, they're awake.
Yeah. Yeah. Mike and I kind of figured it out. Maybe somebody would check just before they go into bed, and then the other person would do 2 in between them, and then the next person, and when they get up at 6, then they go out, and then do we rotate that? Because it's just him and me at the house anymore.
Right.
So, anyway.
I try to help with 10 and midnight and then like 4 to 6, but anything in between there, don't wake me unless it's an emergency.
Right. Do we have to call the vet? Then I can,
Anyway.
So do older people need to sleep less? It's a common misconception that older adults require less sleep than younger. Many older adults have a hard time getting the sleep they need, but that does not mean that they need less sleep. In general, adults should aim to still get at least 7 hours of sleep each night.
Wow. It's actually astonishing. Researchers estimate that between 40 and 70% of older adults have chronic sleep issues. And up to half of the cases may be undiagnosed.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah. Yeah.
That's wild. So chronic sleep problems can significantly interfere with older adults' daily activities and reduce their quality of life. There are several sleep issues that are especially common. Pain. So discomfort or pain can lead to inadequate rest for some older adults. Pain and sleeplessness can become a vicious cycle in which less sleep can lead to more pain. It's important to talk to your doctor if pain is interfering with your sleep. Nighttime urination we've talked about. Basically, the issue may affect up to 80% of older adults. I think in this case, I classify as an older adult, probably. Insomnia, having persistent difficulty in falling asleep or staying asleep is one of the most common sleep issues. Insomnia may be caused by a variety of overlapping factors. But there is hope because they say that it can get better with treatment. So daytime drowsiness. Many people believe that feeling tired during the day is a normal part of getting older, but that is not necessarily the case. So around 20% of older people experience excessive daytime sleepiness, which may be a sign of an underlying health condition. Excessive daytime sleepiness in older adults may be a symptom of health issues like sleep apnea, cognitive impairment, or cardiovascular issues.
When I was really struggling with daytime sleepiness, it actually was my hormones.
Yep.
Because ever since we've gotten that hormone pellet thing, it's leveled me out.
Yep.
Way much.
I agree with that too. I mean, just dragging ass tired.
It was like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. You're like, okay, where's the caffeine and how in the hell am I going to make it till 5?
We would always refer to it as the 3 o'clock drag ass.
Literally.
But those hormone pellets have changed our lives for sure.
Yes.
Sleep apnea. So this can cause pauses in breathing during your sleep, and these pauses are related to the upper airway collapsing and narrowing, causing fragmented sleep, and this can also affect oxygen levels in the body. This leads to headaches, daytime sleepiness, and difficulty thinking clearly. I think I have that without sleep apnea probably.
There have been a couple times Mike was like, geez, I woke up and you weren't breathing and I had to lay there for a minute. I'm like, well, did you shake me or try to make me breathe? Well, I was just sitting there watching to see if you were going to breathe again. Well, what were you hoping? What was the result you were wanting?
Oh, that's funny. Okay, so restless leg syndrome. And I know that this is a controversial one for a lot of people, but speaking from a person that has restless leg syndrome, or as we refer to it, Jimmy legs, it is real, dude. Sometimes my legs are so out of control.
Oh, that's terrible.
Oh my gosh. I will kick and squirm and thrash about. Just ask Kevin. He'll confirm.
He has the bruises to confirm it.
Yes.
Do you always? Is it something that
Not always.
Do you know what?
Sometimes I'm just like, my legs are bad tonight. So just hang on, man.
So do you do something for it when you know you're starting to feel that way?
Well, sometimes I will put I don't know that I should admit to this on this public forum, but anyway, this like liniment stuff that they use on horses.
Oh yeah.
it's basically like an icy hot
beagle oil.
But yeah, I'll just put that on my legs, and it just creates a different sensation for me, so it helps.
Sure.
But I cannot endorse that for anyone else. Talk to your doctor.
I do like the stuff.
Yeah, it's been very effective for me. Anyway, so yeah, restless leg syndrome is a problem and can cause some issues with sleep.
Yeah.
And then REM sleep behavior disorder. Mm-hmm. This primarily affects older people. While most people's bodies do not move while they are dreaming, this disorder can cause people to physically act out their dreams, sometimes violently.
Oh, and you've heard of people, that smack their spouse, or something, and they were like, "What?" and it's obvious that they're not awake. Have you ever watched the movie Step Brothers?
Yes.
Okay, and then they both sleepwalk.
Yes.
And they just demolish the kitchen.
Yes. Funny movie, highly inappropriate.
Yes.
Well, I think about you ever see like a dog when they're
I was going to say
running or something?
That is the funniest thing. And then kitties too.
Yep.
Yeah.
They're probably having that particular disorder.
Yes.
All right. Well, give us some sleep tips for older adults.
I will. So these steps often focus on improving your sleep hygiene. So here we go. And develop habits that encourage quality help. Exercise. Older people that exercise regularly fall asleep faster, sleep longer, and report better quality of health. I got to tell you, the other day we chased cows all damn day. I slept like a freaking baby. I'd been outside all day with the wind and everything. So it was like, a fresh air and chasing up. Yeah. No. So that works.
You second
that works.
That. Okay.
Yes.
Nice.
Exercise is one of the best things older people can do for their health. Reduce bedroom distractions, where that's television, smartphones, bright lights, yada, yada, yada. They say leave the bedroom for sleeping, because that's where your body will get into that. But I have a TV in my room, and I really, really love just lounging after a day and just
decompressing.
That's a good word. Avoid substances that discourage sleep, like alcohol, tobacco, caffeine, and even large meals late in the day can make sleep more challenging. Considers quitting the smoke, reducing caffeine. I don't smoke. I don't smoke. I do not have caffeine after like 5 o'clock ever, because it's just in my stupid head that I am going to be up all night. Yeah.
You're really good about that.
Yeah. Well, I desperately want to sleep. Keep a regular sleep schedule. We've talked about that. And then develop a bedtime routine. What's going to make you relax? And then safe sleeping. Oh boy. It's helpful to make changes in the bedroom environment that reduce the risk of falls and accidents. Keeping a phone by the bed, or your little life alert. Make sure a light is on within reach. To show where the floors are to the bathroom. Reduce hazards in the bedroom. I just added a new piece of furniture to my bedroom. Thank you very much. I got a glider rocker. Yeah. And I put it in a place where it's not. So I had to make sure that I was like, Mike, now there's a chair here now. And he still has plenty of room, but I just knew he was going to stub his toe and want to throw that thing outside, and it did not happen. So that's good.
In my youth, one time I had left a vacuum cleaner in my path to the bathroom, and I literally broke my toe in the middle of the night walking to the bathroom, and just boom, hit it so hard. Yeah.
That's the worst.
It was really my own fault. I had no one to, why would you leave a vacuum cleaner anywhere in the path?
Oh my gosh. The other thing that I seriously hate is having your phone by your bed. But like when Callie was living in Arizona, I just felt, it's not like I could even get to her within multiple hours, but what if she ever called in the middle of the night? And it's just a weird mental thing. We used to live without cell phones, and we did great.
Who knew that could even happen?
No
However, did we survive?
Yes. So we're going to wrap up here real quick. But what we want to talk about is excessive sleeping with, is it dangerous for seniors? Because quite often we talk about that. Families, like I told you already, is that people actually say, how much sleep should he be getting? Yeah. So while daytime sleep is fairly normal for seniors, excessive sleep is otherwise healthy. And it could be a concern, basically too much medication. sleep apnea, overstimulation. So often excessive sleeping can be a result of certain types of medication, or it could be a reaction to depression, family struggles, or even financial stress. Whatever the cause, caregivers should be aware of the dangers of excessive sleep and how to help the older adult in your life.
Okay, so effects of sleeping too much. Medical professionals have determined that sleeping too much is tied to a number of adverse health effects, which could be particularly dangerous for seniors. So cardiovascular decline. One geriatric medicine study showed that long sleep duration is associated with an increased cardiovascular mortality rate in seniors 65 and over. It showed that more than 14 hours of sleep during a 24-hour cycle on a constant basis increases cardiovascular morbidity by 43%.
Oh, wow.
Muscle atrophy and bed sores. So if your muscles aren't worked, they tend to atrophy, and then the health and substance degenerates. So energy levels, the less we move, the less likely we are to move. Use it or lose it, right?
Yeah.
Excessive sleep causes inactivity that causes low energy levels, and then constant grogginess and brain fog, and it's just a vicious cycle.
It really is.
Yeah. Quality of life. So excessive sleeping sends a lot of people into a mindset of hopelessness and escape. There can be many reasons for this, but overall quality of life is highly affected by sleeping all day. It decreases opportunities for socializing and exercise, along with decreasing a mindful presence with people who want to interact. And then obesity and diabetes. So excessive sleep leads to decreased activity in general, which increases an older adult's risk of obesity and type 2 diabetes.
Yeah. So how to spot what is oversleeping. Unless a diagnosed health problem or medication is affecting sleep patterns, anything over 12 hours of sleeping a day on a regular basis is a cause for concern. Be on the lookout for some physical signs of oversleeping, which is a loss of appetite, aggression, depression, a lack of desire for interaction with others, and refusing to go out during the day.
So what to do when your senior sleeps too much? Start with speaking to their physician. Often medications can lead to oversleeping, especially medication for depression or sleeplessness during the night. Your loved one's doctor may be able to change the prescription or provide alternate treatments that won't interfere with a normal sleep cycle. Sleep apnea is also a common issue for many seniors. You could include therapy to address any psychological issues that may trigger the need to escape reality. And then at home, try to encourage your loved one to bathe just before bed, which can relax the body and mind. Music, massage, essential oils, and candles can also help induce better quality sleep during the night and lessen the need for sleep during the day. Yeah. So don't underestimate the value of daily exercise. Just the act of walking around the house, working in the garden, strolling around the block, lifting some weights, or doing some exercise while watching television can be can create or have remarkable results for older adults, increasing their energy and sustaining cardiac health. And then don't sleep on excessive sleeping, right?
Yeah. Pay attention to the natural sleeping habits of your older adult and attempt to cater to these as much as possible. But do not force a new routine on them. So you've just got to try, because a lot of people are going to tell you to stick it.
Right. Yeah.
I
think it's just paying attention. And if it's abnormal, or, there's a change and you're seeing more and more of it, it's worth looking into, and just to say, is what's going on, or what's the cause of this?
Yeah.
Because if it is a medication issue or something that's easily fixable or changeable.
Another one real quick. If your person snores, many times, I think my dad was quite the snorer, and mother would end up having to go into the second room next door just to be able to get her sleep, because she wanted to be able to keep going. But there's all kinds of remedies out there. You just have to find the thing that works for you.
Yep. Yeah. Absolutely.
So that made me tired.
Same, man.
We're not going to nap, though, because we want to sleep good tonight.
Exactly. So what are you leaving us with? What is your grandma saying, or words of wisdom?
I found another little gem for us.
In the 15 and 1600s, during the Shakespearean era, it was common for audiences who were enjoying a performance to bang their chairs against the ground. The sound of these wooden chairs against wooden floors was louder than clapping. People would wish performers to have a show with so much applause that the chairs banging on the ground would break the legs off the chairs. Hence the phrase, break a leg. The ancient Greeks believed that nymphs lived inside of trees and would grant people good luck. So whenever someone wished for something good to happen, they would walk over to one of those trees and tap on it to let the nymphs know. Over time, this became the superstition to knock on wood. During the Middle Ages, some marriage traditions began that still occur today. One was that the couple would have their wedding and then go off and spend an entire month together getting drunk on mead so that they would be drunk and happy for the first month of their marriage. Now, mead is made from honey, and the reason they were doing this for a month is because that's roughly a lunar cycle. This began the tradition of the honeymoon.
So there you go. That is 3 of them.
Wow.
Break a leg. What was the honeymoon
on wood.
phase? And knock on wood.
Crazy.
Isn't that funny?
It's really interesting to learn where these things come from.
No, you think you know.
Yeah.
We know nothing.
Exactly. All right. Well, I guess that's it. Peace out, Girl Scouts.
Have a good day.
The caregiven name is a registered trademark of the Veritrust Health Incorporated Company. IPAGA is not connected to, affiliated with, or endorsed by Veritrust or any of its affiliates.